What's up, guys? I can't do any of it. How's it going, guys? It's Jack Bing here, and Peter McKinnon. He put up a video today when I'm recording this, called My YouTube Studio Setup. Now, yesterday I put up a video called Best Budget YouTuber Setup, which is basically the same thing. And Peter, I understand that you are one of the 12 people that have watched my video and you're trying to capitalize on it. I get it. But I thought it was so funny, so interesting that Peter and I put out such a similar video within 48 hours of each other, and it really inspired me to watch his video, which is amazing, by the way, and I'm going to watch it again in a second and have a look at how he does his setup, and it's inspired me to see if I can recreate a very similar setup for a fraction of the cost. I have heaps of random stuff lying around here, and I think that I'm just keen to have a go at it. So let's see how we go. Peter, stop stealing my content, and speaking of, let's watch his video. Let's do it. Okay, so here's the plan. I'm going to take some notes on the models of things that he's actually got set up, so we can get a bit of a price thing together. Plus I'm going to draw up kind of a map of his lighting structure and things like that so that we can recreate it ourselves. Yeah, we get it, you've got fancy lights.
And this video is all about that. What's on the other side of this camera here and how we've made and dialed this setup for filming videos. And then some tips and tricks on how you can get your setup dialed as well, wherever you're shooting at home or in.
That's what I'm gonna do. Don't worry about this setup. Do my setup. You don't really need to see this, but I'm basically just gonna draw like a top-down view of what he's got going on here. And I'm just gonna kind of label things as we learn what they are. Sennheiser. What did you just say?
Remember this background, this whole setup, Studio B or something I was gonna call it? You probably don't, because I only used it twice, because I actually don't like it. You see, the problem...
Why would you like it? Why would you like that absolutely perfectly curated vintage camera room? Alright, so I've done some drawings. I've marked them all off. I've got some pricing together. So the tripod plus the camera with the lens, the monitor with the stand, the big key light, the new hair light that he's adding, his backlight, his boom mic, his top-down camera, and the standing desk, all of it together rounds to about $40,000. And I'm not including things like cables and all that kind of cable management kind of stuff, which is, let's be honest, probably gonna add another few $1,000s at least. But let's just call it a nice even 40 for the clickbait, basically, for the title. All right, so first thing, I'm gonna start at the back of the room. He's got that back light, which is his Aperture 120D. I'm gonna be replacing that with this, which is an IKEA lamp. It doesn't have a bulb in it, so I'll find one. But basically, that's just gonna sit on the floor in the middle of the room, just shooting straight up and hopefully creating that same kind of lit background. That looks pretty good. That looks pretty good to me. All right. Done, next thing. All right, so next up, he just installed the whole point of the video, I think, really, is he's kind of installing what's called the hair light, which is kind of like a highlight that points back at your hair. It's got to be off camera. So I'm going to use this, which is my kind of like my second softbox kind of thing. These, if you didn't see the other video, these are $80, $85 for the pair off eBay. So, you know, we're saving a little bit of money there. Nailed it. All right, so now I've got to get a little bit creative with trying to get this desk set up right. All right, so this is going to be my Canon C500 Mark II. It's an Olympus OMD EM5 Mark II, so actually very similar, except this one's worth a couple of $100s. Oh no, I've only got one tripod and that camera's on it. Okay, I had to change shots because that's the only tripod I've got that this camera was on. So I'm gonna have to use that. And now that's just sitting on the desk. So hopefully this works okay. This is a Joby compact action tripod. Bit of a life hack. I've actually mounted I think it's called a trigger head. I think that's what it's called. Some kind of, anyway, I've mounted it backwards so that I can control it from the front, which is actually probably a feature that Peter's doesn't have. So maybe he can learn something off me with that. All right, I've got a Joby GorillaPod. Mine's broken, but it should do the right job. Plus, I also have a small HD monitor. Microphone. I'm gonna have to take this microphone off this other camera. Okay, so I know that this audio is gonna sound so bad, but I had to take the microphone off this camera because again, I only have one microphone, and I need to mount it kind of similar to how Peter did. So I'm gonna mount it off this tripod so it sits kind of facing into me, just like his one does. Alright guys, well I've done the maths on my version of the setup. I hope you like the look of it. And Peter, I've managed to do it for $1,280. And that is the monitor, the camera, the tripod with the lens, the microphone, the key light, the hair light, and the backlight from IKEA. And look guys, the results are up to you. But I mean, this is just really just meant to be a bit of fun. And I honestly, this was a bit of a challenge to myself to see if I could actually make something out of the kind of bits and pieces that I've got around. And through a little bit of kind of messing around and you know, a lot of trouble with zip ties and things like that, I'm actually pretty happy with this setup. It actually works surprisingly well. Peter, if you somehow watch this, I love your work, man. It's so awesome and super inspiring. And you know, this is just a heap of fun, but I was super inspired by watching your studio video. So thanks so much for watching, guys. Hopefully you learned something. Hopefully you got a little bit of a laugh. And that's pretty much it from me. I'll see you in the next one.